What's up, everybody? Welcome. I'm gonna try and make sure that I get this audio nice and dialed in before we get going too much. I think I pretty much got the system down now. You know, it's only been 4 years. It's probably about time. All right, I think we're pretty much dialed in here. Guys, let me know, of course, if anything sounds out of line, if anything sounds too loud or too quiet. I am happy to make adjustments as necessary. But what's up, everybody? Welcome to Model Monday Live. It's been far too long since we've all been together, so it's great to see everybody. Say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. I was at a campfire this weekend. I was playing guitar, and I was singing some songs, and my voice, unfortunately, is suffering a little bit from it, but it was well worth it. It was a good time with friends outside, enjoying nature, and not looking at screens, just playing music and singing together. And I really can't think of a much better way to spend a beautiful Saturday night here in my world, in TooTallToby land. What's up, Barry? Welcome from the UK. What is up, Leviathan from Utah? What's up, Omri? How you doing? Welcome back to the party. Great to see you in here again. Great to see everybody in here again. Such a nice, beautiful Monday. The weather is good. Everything is good. Tim Z is in the chat. What's up, Tim Z? Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Great to see you here. John's here from Wisconsin. About to switch from Inventor to SolidWorks. Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, congratulations and welcome to the wonderful world of SolidWorks. It's always good to learn more than one CAD system. I've been learning a lot of Onshape this year, so I'm kind of like a SolidWorks and Onshape person now. Erwick, what's up? Erwick, another Onshape guy. Rocking the leaderboards using Onshape, so welcome. And John, of course, remember, if you still have Inventor, you can always use Inventor to do the leaderboard too. You know, our leaderboard this past month, was chock full of different CAD systems, as you can see here. We had Erwick coming in first place in April. Congratulations to Erwick in the chat. We got Jed using SolidWorks coming in second place. We got Robin using SolidWorks in third place. And then we have Chadwick using Autodesk Inventor in fourth place, and Mohammed using CATIA in fifth place. So a wide variety of CAD systems here in the top 5. That's what I like to see each month on the leaderboard for sure. And we're, of course, going to talk a lot about the leaderboard today as we get into this presentation. But as I always say, guys, just make sure you let me know if anything sounds out of line, if the music's too quiet, if the music's too loud, if my voice is too quiet, or if my voice is too loud. Just let me know, and I will adjust and make it all work. Yeah, how come Alnus is never on this table? I think he just likes to hang back and wait for tournament season, which is coming up. It's a great question that came in from Omri. I think that Alnus is just chilling, just waiting for the tournament to start. Doesn't want to give away too many of his moves, and so he's just going to wait for the tournament to come up, and then he's going to swoop in and defend his title as the world champion of speed modeling. So I think that's probably what Alnus is up to. That's my guess, anyway. All right, well, listen, let's get into it here. And, of course, along the way, I'm going to be drinking a lot of water, and I've got some tea, and I've got some, I've always got some, Waterloo sparkling seltzer water. I think that's always good. Get some Waterloo. Although I don't know if sparkling water is really good if your voice is a little bit scraggly. I feel like it would not be good. It's probably better to have something a little bit smooth. Eric can hook you up with that mass table, Omri. Eric's in the chat. You can message him in the chat. I'm sure that he will help set it up for you with that table that calculates the mass for all 3 items. So, yeah, I mean that's the cool thing, is if you know a little bit of API, or if you know a little bit of feature script, you can really leverage some of these different CAD systems. So, all right, more on that in a bit. But for now, let's get into today's topics. We're going to do 2 CAD speed modeling challenges for the chat. We're going to find out who is the fastest in the chat. We're going to do TTT t-shirt giveaway, the softest shirts in the CAD game, the all black TooTallToby technical tips and tricks, the softest shirts in the CAD game. And we are going to, of course, talk about a tech tip from the world of SolidWorks, the Modify Sketch command. I'm very excited about sharing this tip because I get to use my 2D printer to help illustrate, which I love using my 2D printer. And, of course, we'll be hanging out with the best chat ever. Guys, if you want to support this channel, one of the easiest things you can do is you can remember to hit the like button. It looks like we got 14 people watching right now, and we only have 3 likes. So let's see what we can do to get those to match. I'm going to come over here to my monitoring computer and hit the like button on my monitoring computer. There we go. We can see the likes going up now. That's what we like to see. Of course, if you're here for the first time, or if you're a returning visitor but you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's another great way to help support the channel, keep us growing. And we'll talk about some other ways to support in the future. But for now, the biggest thing you can do is just make sure you hit that like button. I see our likes are up now. That's what I like to see. Okay, we are in a good spot here. All right, so one last thing I just want to say as far as support goes, I got to give a huge shout out, as always, to the crew over at SolidBox, mysolidbox.com. The team at SolidBox really tries to put together professional workstations for professional engineers. So if you are ever in the market for a new CAD workstation and you want to get something that just works as soon as you get it, be sure to check out mysolidbox.com. They will definitely take care of you. Huge shout out to SolidBox. They really helped keep this season alive, Season 5 of Model Monday Live, which, believe it or not, we're kind of winding down to the end of Season 5. You know, we start out in the beginning of the year. We go for a few months, 5-6 months, and then we get into tournament season, and that kind of like spells the end of Model Monday Live for that season. Sometimes we have 1 or 2 more during the tournament. Sometimes we have 1 at the very end of the tournament to kind of wrap it up, maybe talk to the champ a little bit. But that pretty much winds down, you know, the Model Monday Live season. So as we approach tournament season here in another 45 days, we're going to start the tournament. You know, that's probably going to be it for Model Monday Live for the year, or at least it'll dial back a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of cool to have like post-game recaps after the tournament matches on Saturdays. We do the tournament on Saturdays, and then we do the post-match wrap-up on Model Monday Live. So I don't know. Maybe we'll still have it, but we're kind of winding down on Season 5, and so I always like to remember to say thank you to SolidBox. They really hooked it up this year. All right, so let's talk about the CAD speed modeling challenges here for all of you in the chat. Logan, perfect timing. Logan's asking, hey, man, how does this work? Well, let me answer that question. I'm going to show you, the chat, a 2D print, and you are going to try to turn it into a 3D model. You're going to calculate the mass, and then you're going to enter that mass into the YouTube chat. Now, the basic rules of this are that you can use any CAD package. As long as you can input density and you can output mass, then you are welcome to use any CAD package that you've got. You also want to make sure you use a specified precision, although today all of the challenges are in full units, so you don't really have to worry about that. And the first person to get the correct answer in the chat will be declared a winner. The units that we use in this challenge are inches and mmgs, depending on the challenge that comes up. And the materials that we use are plain carbon steel, 1060 aluminum alloy, and ABS. You look down in the title block, it'll tell you what those materials are. Just make sure you use the correct density, because the name, you know, 1060 aluminum might be the same in a different CAD package, but the density could be different. So you got to just make sure you've got the correct material densities. Always good to get a library set up that has those correct material densities, save you a little bit of time. Now, the advanced rules are this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. I'll probably make a mistake from time to time, although I'm pretty confident that today's drawings are solid, and the Ivan exploit is permitted during the Model Monday Live challenges. So feel free to look for and utilize the Ivan exploit if you happen to find a place to plug that in. All right, that's it. Let's get into our first challenge here. Let me flip over to full screen for our presentation here so that everybody can see this at the biggest possible, you know, screen size. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're taking a look back at one of the models from last year's tournament, get us a little bit psyched up for the tournament this year. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? The material is 1060 aluminum alloy. The density of that is 2,700 kilograms per cubic meter. Make sure you get that density correct. This is a model which is symmetric, and you want to be a little careful on this one when you are looking at the counter bores that are kind of up at the tip of this one. Those counter bores need to be aligned at a certain distance from the rear of the part. And that distance is different from the main boss. So just be careful of where you're locating those counter bores horizontally. That will help you kind of avoid some trouble. I'm gonna take a little sip of my drink here. Juiced is in the chat. What is up, Juiced? How you doing? Great to see you in here again. I saw somebody snuck into the leaderboard, Juiced, and got a faster time than you, but I think that that video has not been verified, so I'm not sure. I haven't seen the URL of their video recording come in yet, so might have just been somebody having some fun. I don't know. We'll see. That's pretty. You've been putting up some pretty darn fast times, so I'm excited to get into tournament season and see how you do in the tournament. We definitely are going to have a contender here going into the 2023 tournament. Alrighty, so we got basically when you're doing this, what you want to do is you want to take a screen capture of this print. You want to, use your Windows snipping tool or Snagit or MW Snap. Shout out to MW Snap or whatever, whatever you use for a snipping tool. You want to use that snipping tool to capture this image, and that way you will be able to continue working on this as we continue to talk and we hand out the t-shirt to a random verified video from last month. So let me flip back here to my screen. I hope that was enough time. Logan says, how would I work out mass in Onshape? Well, it's a great question, Logan. If you look at the Onshape YouTube channel, I've actually been hosting a series of videos. I've been learning Onshape this year, and some of those videos, I mean, all those videos really are influenced by the fact that I run these contests. So they all kind of like it's just like an end run around to help promote people to do these contests, because I think these contests are so valuable for the educational process. So there are videos in there that I made in my playlist on how to create a new material, like how to just like manually put in a temporary material just for one model, or how to create a new material library where you've got a library of these 3 materials that I typically use. And then the option for mass calculation is just down in the lower right corner. So once you have the material correct, you have to set the material first. Once you have the material correct, then you just go to mass properties, and then it tells you what the mass is. And like I said, you can either set that material one time by doing a right mouse button on the part down in the part studio and then saying assign material and do like a manual material where you just input the density. Or the more elegant solution is to create an appropriate materials library that has those materials in it and then assign the actual material. And then if you like really want to get speedy, then you could create a feature script that tells you the mass using all 3 of the materials at once. That's like a cool little workaround that the Onshape users do. Some of these feature scripts, we have to be a little careful. We don't want to delve too far into the space of taking what I would consider to be like an unfair advantage. And I know I don't have a comparison against every other CAD software out there, but I know certainly in SolidWorks you could create a template with the material. And that to me kind of equals out that potential advantage of having all the masses listed at once, like you can do in Onshape with a feature script. In SolidWorks, you just have a material template, that has the different materials. And so as soon as you see what the material is, you just double click on the correct template. So I don't think that one's that big a deal. I do kind of at times, at night, sometimes I think about like what's going on with these tournaments, and I think about like the like I know Airwork, you've got there's a multi-way mirror command where you can mirror in 2 directions at once. But I think in the new build of SolidWorks, I think in SolidWorks 2020, whatever it is, 2023, 2024, I think they added that. So let me see here, help.solidworks.com. Let me bring this up. Anytime you want to find out, what's going on in the world of 3D CAD, most of the CAD programs have like either what's new or like Onshape has all their updates. They tell you what the new features are. And so if we go here to help.solidworks.com, I don't know why I had Cyrillic lettering in there. But if we go to mirror in the what's new, let's see here. See, I thought there was like a double mirror that was added. Maybe it was added in 2022. They did add it, and it is super useful. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Daniel, confirming. Very much appreciate that. I wonder if maybe they added it in 2022. Maybe it was already there. Yeah, mirroring about 2 planes. Here we go. So you can now mirror about 2 planes simultaneously. So I think that like this is kind of what I'm trying to use as a barometer of like when we cross into a super feature that would be considered cheating, you know. And I think that really what it comes down to is like if the CAD system, as long as you're not creating the geometry itself, like if in Onshape it's very easy to do what's called feature scripting, which is kind of like writing custom macros, writing custom APIs. Well, if somebody wrote a custom macro that was like input the dimensions and it generates a box at those dimensions, I would consider that kind of crossing the line because you're using the macro to generate the geometry kind of from the ground up. But when it's something like this, where there's other CAD packages that are just adding it into the vanilla flavor of the software, you know, if somebody's using FreeCAD or somebody's using Onshape and they figure out how to script to get that functionality, you know, I say good for them. That's one of the benefits of having a piece of CAD software that is that open source, where you're able to, you know, write your code your way out of challenges. I mean, that's really like what the power of computers is supposed to be. So, you know, I'm keeping an eye on it, but so far I haven't really seen anything that I feel like crosses the line, but it does keep me up at night, you know? So there you go. Now you guys know what I think about at night. Let's talk about the 2023 leaderboard. The 2023 leaderboard last month was incredible. We had so many submissions. It was awesome. We are really breaking out here, and I'm loving it. It's you know, it's so interesting to see the different ways that people approach these challenges. So if you go to TooTallToby.com/leaderboard, you can see this board that I'm looking at here, and you can see here that we've already got, look at this, 20 entries in the month of May. And last month, we ended up with 34 entries total. You know, after I went through and purged some of the stuff that was kind of like double users, double names, stuff like that, we still ended up with a total of 30 different entries. And congratulations to Airwick coming in first, doing all 3 models in just 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Super impressive, super impressive. And congratulations to Jed as well. 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Really fast guys coming in here with these moves. I mean, this is just super impressive. And then, like I said, Chadwick came in here with the third verified video, coming in with 3 minutes and 47 seconds. So yeah, and Juiced says, yeah, I did not have a time last month. Yeah, Juiced has been putting in insane times, 2:47. So anything that's right around 3 minutes, if you're doing a full model, and these models are not easy. I mean, they're coming off of defined prints. Like this is what the prints look like from this month. So you can see here this month, the first one's a little bit easy, but the second one starts to get pretty complicated, and the third one's pretty complicated too. And to be able to get in here and just do these models in you know, just a matter of minutes is really impressive. Super impressive. So cool challenges, lots of neat stuff here in the world of the leaderboard. And like I said, last month we just had an insane number of people submitting. Now the video does have to be verified in order to qualify for the t-shirt prize. And so in order to get a verified video, what you need to do is reply to this video here, the synthwave video. So record your run and reply to this video, and then I have to watch the video, and you have to meet all the criteria of the basic rules. Like you have to show that you were working against the clock, that the clock is up on screen with you. You have to get the correct mass and show that mass on screen so that I can verify and see that you got everything right. You know, you can't speed up the video. You have to do it all in one continuous run. This is all part of what's involved in coming up with a verified video. But basically, you know, we had a lot of people who were able to get in there and get their videos verified last month. Very impressive. Some of these videos, you know, came in here and they didn't get verified, and the reason why was because maybe they had the wrong answer. That's usually what it was they had the wrong answer, or maybe they didn't have the clock on the screen. That was one of the videos that didn't get verified. They didn't have the clock on the screen. Some of them had the wrong answer, but still really impressive to see people going through and doing these challenges. And I thank you all. You know, thank you to everybody who took part in it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying this type of stuff. And so, so let's take a look. Let's see who the big winner is for the t-shirt from last month. So we're going to do the t-shirt giveaway here. Let's bring up the magic wheel. Here we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Bring up that magic wheel. I think I purged all the names that had the non-verified videos, and let's get my name off of there too. I don't need another t-shirt. I wear this t-shirt every day and I never need to wash it. So yeah, Igor making a comment here, says, a little curious, Fusion 360 seems to be rather unpopular. Yeah, I was very surprised by that as well. And you know what's interesting is, like, when I post on the Reddit board, usually it's the Fusion 360 board and it's the FreeCAD board that I get the most chatter from. You know, like, they're always really, really talkative and engaging. And so I'm always surprised to not see more Fusion 360 on that board, but who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. All right, here we go. This is the official spin. Whoever wins this one is going to win a t-shirt. I will message you. I'll probably reply to your YouTube video. I'll try to contact you on your YouTube page. Chadwick, if you're out there, you still have a t-shirt that's up for shipping. I'm just waiting to hear back from you. I did message you on the YouTube, but never heard back from you. So, you know, hit me. And if you win, the best thing you can do if you win is just hit me up on the contact page at TooTallToby.com, and then we'll get in touch with you and get your mailing address. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see who the big winner is as we spin our way to the name. Eric Guthier. Whoa, Eric. Woo! So Eric has a very impressive technique in that he runs this thing typically using Onshape mobile. So he does Onshape, but he does it from his Android device, from his mobile phone usually. So let's take a look. Let's see what Eric's. Yep, here we go. He's doing it again here. So you can see here that he's going to run it from a mobile device, and he was able to complete those 3 models. I'm gonna just double speed it here on YouTube. You know, we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but let's at least get into the good stuff here. So Eric was able to get in here just using his phone, just using his finger and his phone, and was able to create this geometry and come up with a time of, I think, under 10 minutes. I think that's what it was on the leaderboard. Let's see. Eric, here we go. Yep, 8 minutes and 5 seconds. So 3 models in under 10 minutes, in 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Super impressive. You can imagine, you know, if you're outside, if you're out in the field and you are trying to, you know, create some geometry and you don't have your computer with you, how beneficial it would be to be able to just pull up your phone and log in from your phone and at least get the key dimensions down. There's been so many times when I've had to do that. You know, you go out there with like a notepad and you write it down on a notepad, and then you come back and you know, just being able to do it directly from your phone is just awesome. So another huge benefit of having a browser-based solution that's leveraging the computing from the server side of things and not from the device. The device is more like a portal. So very cool stuff. There we go. You saw he was able to do that first one in 2 minutes and 8 seconds, come up with the correct mass. And if you want to watch Eric's video, or if you want to watch any of the videos, just go to TooTallToby.com and you can click on the link here for any of these videos, and you can see how people were doing them and learn some moves, and you can kind of see how people are approaching these challenges. Now, for the May challenge is a really big deal. We're doing something new. We're not just giving away a t-shirt. No. We're giving away a 3D Connection suite of tools, a Space Mouse Enterprise, as well as a CAD Mouse Pro Wireless and CAD Mouse Pad. So this whole thing is going up for grabs this month to anybody who has a verified video. So very thankful to the crew over at 3D Connection, really hooking it up this month, setting us up with that Space Mouse Enterprise Kit 2. Those are, these tools are so helpful for productivity. I'm sure you know people. I'm sure that you've seen people who have these on their desk and they just love them. And very, very cool of 3D Connection to hook us up with these tools. If you want to, learn more about this contest or about how to compete in this contest, or if you want to tell your friends about it, all you got to do is tell them TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. They can go here and they can watch the video of the rules to make sure that they create a verified video. This is only going to go out to people who have a verified video. Igor, I think you're in the chat. I thought I saw you in the chat earlier. Oh yeah, I see you in the chat here. I did see your note come in. Oh, and Fusion 360 user. There we go. Look at that. So we were just talking about Fusion also. So yeah, I did see your note. I did see your submission come in there, and I will verify that a little bit later today. So we are good there. I know there was. Sometimes it seems like if you post a comment, YouTube will just eat it. They just eat the comment. It just disappears forever. So keep an eye on the board and make sure that you're seeing that. And I'll keep on this month and make sure that everybody who's submitting stuff gets verified. So if you see your name on here and it doesn't show as verified, then make sure that you follow up. And as always, if you just go here to contact and you just send a message here through contact, I'll get the message right away and I'll get back to you right away. I get all these messages as they come in. So if anything looks like it's askew, just that's the best way to ping me about it. All right, well, huge congratulations to Eric for winning the t-shirt this month, the TooTallToby epic softest t-shirt ever. If you guys don't have one yet, go to tootalltoby.com/merch, and then on the merch page you can click here. You can click here. These are the old shirts. We don't have the old ones anymore. We sold out of them. But if you click here, that'll take you to the new shirts. TooTallToby technical tips and tricks, the black shirts, shipping worldwide. You just click on the shirt that you need. The woman's shirt, the man's shirt. They're slimming and they are soft, and you can wear them every day and nobody will know because they're black. So, well, you guys know. You know how it works. Again, huge thank you to 3D Connection for sponsoring this month's giveaway. I'm very excited for somebody in the community in the TooTallToby community to win this epic tool. This is, I like how it says built for prime engineering performance. That's a good way of saying it. And the other thing I want to tell you about the leaderboard is that we're going to be using a very similar mechanism to the leaderboard in order to qualify people for the tournament. So the tournament's coming up. The finals are going to be November 11th, 2023. So 1-1-1-1-2-3. We're going to have a live get-together here on the East Coast. We're going to invite some people to come for that. Not the competitors. The competitors will still be remote. But we'll have some, some local people get together, and I'll let you guys know when that's happening too. But that's going to be the finals. The tournament's going to start in July, the beginning of July. I think July 8th is the first matchup. So in just, I said 45 days earlier. It's really more like 52 days. But we're definitely counting down here to the beginning of the tournament this year. We're going to find out who is the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. And so we need to qualify people. We need to make sure that the people who are entering the tournament actually know how to use CAD and how to do kind of basic, CAD type challenges, 3D CAD type challenges. So we're going to use a similar mechanism. We're going to use a very similar mechanism to the leaderboard here, where we're going to challenge people to create models. But we're not going to force people to submit a video, because that's kind of a barrier for some people. Some people are not able to actually record themselves or are not able to post themselves. So we're not going to force people to submit a video, but we are going to use a similar mechanism to the leaderboard in order to qualify people for the tournament. So I'm sharing that with all of you, because if you're out there, if you're watching and you're thinking about entering the tournament, it'll be beneficial for you to at least give it a try this month. Plus, it gives you the chance to maybe win this awesome package of tools here from 3D Connection, but it'll also help you kind of set up and practice for your qualification round for the tournament. So just keep that in mind. And I look forward to this all year. The tournament is what it's all about. The World Championship of Speed Modeling begins July 8th, goes until November 11th, and we will have a 32-person tournament, a bracket of 32 people from all around the world, and we'll narrow that down week after week after week until we get down to just 4 people. And those 4 people will run the semifinals and the finals on November 11th, 2023. So it's going to be awesome. All right, guys, if you enjoy this kind of stuff, don't forget to like. We want to make sure we get those likes up. Looks like we've got a little bit of a mismatch between the number of people viewing and the number of likes. So let's get in there and hit that like button. Let's get those two match up. Very important. Of course, if you want to support financially, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could use what's called Super Chat when you're in a live event like what we're in today. You can use a credit card to send me a tip, kind of like you might tip a waiter if they did a good job. You can use what's called Super Thanks if you're watching the recording. And then there's also a PayPal donation link on the TooTallToby website right on the main page. But the other thing that you can do is you can always share and reshare. You can take a screen capture of what we're doing today with these challenges and you can share. Or if you see me post something on social media, just take it and repost it to your network of people. That's really a great way for us to grow the channel and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So these are all great ways to support. What's up, Thomas? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Coming in with 674 grams. Yeah, we're getting to the point where it's time to find out who got the correct answer. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this model. You know, if I was looking at a model like this, what I would probably do is start out by creating a sketch here on the top plane. I would probably create this shape, this kind of tombstone shape, or this like slot shape, and then I would extrude that up to this max height here of 70. Then once I had that shape extrude up to 70, I would create this shape here to do a cut extrude. So I just do a cut extrude through all and kind of lop off all that extra geometry. And then I would start going in and creating, you know, this kind of like ribby shape here. I would go back up to the top view and create this shape, maybe just create half of it, maybe create the whole thing, or I don't know, do a mirror or whatever. And then I would finish off with the cuts. So the cut for the slot here, the counter bore going down through here, and the counter bores here on this end. That's how I would approach it. Probably pretty similar to how some of you approached it, but maybe you came up with a different solution. You know, if you did, feel free to let us know in the chat. But let's take a look and see who answered, who was able to answer this and what they came up with for an answer. I saw we had a lot of answers coming in. I saw we had the 666 coming in as an answer. Sometimes I'll use numerology to help guide my hand when I'm coming up with these correct answers. We'll see if we did it this time. Let's see here. We got Juiced coming in, very first answer, 666. Not a lucky number, but, you know, a fine number. We got Timothy Z, Tim Z coming in 674. Airwick coming in 666. Says, whoops, didn't think that was going to stick. Okay, and then revised to 674. We got Chad, what's up, Chad? Welcome, welcome. Coming in 674. John Porter coming in 672.7, so we'll call that 673. We got Juiced saying, whoops, one snap point was incorrect, revised to 674. And we got Thomas coming in with 674. And the correct answer is 674 plus or minus 1 gram. So very nicely done. John, plus or minus 1 gram, you're still there, 673. Congratulations. And congratulations to Tim Z, the world champion of Speed Model Mania at SolidWorks World. I think 1-2 years ago. Congratulations, Tim Z. Welcome to the Champions Club. Tim Z is the world champion of SolidWorks Model Mania and a thug in the world of TooTallToby Speed Modeling World Championship. So I hope that we'll see him again this year in the tournament. Very nicely done. 2021, he says. Okay, good. 2021. Very nice, very nice. All righty. Let's move on. Let's take a look at another speed modeling challenge. Same idea here. I'm going to show you guys a 2D print. You guys are going to try and turn it into a 3D model. And here we go in 3. Oops, let me just make this a little bit. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams plus or minus 2 grams? This is another part from the tournament series last year. The material for this one is 1060 aluminum alloy, 2,700 kilograms per cubic meter. Can't remember if that's the same as what we were using on the last part or not, but we are going to be asking you to tell us what is the mass of this part in 4 digits, XXXX grams, and we want to use a tolerance of plus or minus 2 grams. I'm going to take a little sip of my drink here, give you guys a chance to do a screen capture for that part. Slightly more complicated parts today than we've been using, but I think you guys are getting ready for the challenge. We got to get everybody warmed up for tournament season. It's coming upon us. We got some great sponsors lined up, some great prizes in the prize pool this year, taking it up a notch from last year. So some good co-commentators lined up as well. So we are all systems go here for this tournament. This is what we live for all year. Who will be the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling? What country will he be from? What country, what CAD software will they be using? You know, we're going to find out. We're all going to find out together here in just a couple of short months. All right, I hope that was enough time for you to grab that screen capture. Previous model was Ivan exploitable, wasn't it? Well, Omri, that's a good question. Let's take a look. I don't know. I guess a little. I mean, you're not really going to get too much of an advantage from it. Yeah, I mean, people can always find ways to do it. That's for sure. But there's some that are, like, obviously beneficial. This one might be actually like, oh no, the slot, you can't do it on this one because that slot is on an angle. So you can't really do it on that one either. So yeah, sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes you have to get like so creative that it's not even worth it. It's better just to center all your stuff and, you know, move on. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the world of TooTallToby. Here we go, guys. Ready? A membership site. It's coming. We're going to have a membership site. We're going to hook you guys up. We're going to be able to talk to one another. We're going to be able to share some great tips and tricks. We're going to be able to continue to build this community with a membership site. It is on the horizon. So keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled from an announcement from me. You know, if you've done the tournament before, you might get an email from me letting you know that this is starting to open up. But we're going to have an even stronger community. We're going to have even better record keeping of all the cool stuff that you've accomplished, because a lot of you have accomplished a lot over the past couple of years here at TooTallToby, and we're going to help you capture that and you know, let people know what you've been up to over here. So very, very excited. It's something that's we've been working on for a long time. I haven't said anything about it up to this point because we've always been so far away from officially launching, but now we're probably within you know, 6 months window here of officially launching this thing. So I'm very excited. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on it. You can share in the excitement with me. Put a +1 in the chat if you're interested or excited about the idea of a membership site with TooTallToby. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a lot more capabilities in this whole new world that we're moving into. So I'm very excited. I know you guys are excited too. Chris is there with me. All right. That's all I needed, bro. Thank you, my man. All right, let's go on. What else is going on with TooTallToby.com? I just want to remind everybody about the calendar. We are starting to use the calendar a little more now as we move back into tournament season. So I'll put links on here like when we're doing Model Monday Live. I'd love to get to a point where I can actually put links on here whenever I release any content, but we're not quite there yet. But we're certainly putting stuff on there when we're doing live streams, and we're going to have all the tournament information on there as well. So you'll be able to quickly and easily just click into calendar. The nice thing about the calendar site is that it allows you to add a calendar appointment when something is happening. So for example, if I click here on the calendar and I scroll down to the bottom, there's this option for adding this to my Google Calendar or my iCal. So it's just really nice to be able to quickly add this stuff to your calendar so you get a proper reminder in a spot that you're used to looking to for upcoming events. So definitely going to start using that more and more. And I just wanted to remind all of you that the calendar is a thing. Another thing that I've been working on is my CSWP prep class. I feel like it's pretty solid now. I'm starting to do some private classes with it, helping out different companies that are trying to get their teams up and certified for CSWP prep. It's something that I've been working on for a little while now, and excited to have it. You know, the next phase of this would be to maybe put it together into more of an online class, like a Udemy class. Personally, I like teaching people, like actually teaching people. I mean, I love being in person with people, but at least being on a true web call with people is a lot better to me than just posting videos for people to watch. So I would love to start doing this more and more. If you or if your company is ever looking to get your team certified or get, you know, a group of members from your team certified, please let me know. Reach out to me on the contact page, and we can definitely work together and make this happen. But the class is ready to rock. You know, we're starting to have it. So you know, you guys, anybody out there that's looking to get that certification, just let me know and we can make it happen. I'm excited too. I'm excited about this class. I feel like it really came together well. I'm really happy with the work that I did on this one. So yeah. And then on TooTallToby.com, this is another thing I started probably like 6 months ago, and never really followed up on it enough. I haven't developed it enough, but I am putting together a searchable and categorized section of tips so that anytime you think to yourself, like, I know I saw Toby deliver a video on that, but I can't remember where it is, this will give you something that'll be really easy to search. So you'll be able to filter, you'll be able to search by keyword, you'll be able just to scroll up and down and find the topic that you want. I'm not really trying to go for like clickbaity, you know, like, oh, those types of thumbnails. Instead, I'm just trying to like have the name of what the tip is on the thumbnail on this page so that you guys can just use it as a knowledge base basically and search through and get some good tips and tricks. So it's still a work in progress, but it hasn't died. This is definitely something that I think is going to be beneficial for all SolidWorks users, whether you're a brand new user or whether you're an experienced user. Alrighty. And with that, let's talk about Modify Sketch. So Modify Sketch is a tool that's in SolidWorks. This is a SolidWorks tip for all the SolidWorks users out there. And it's a super powerful tool. I made a video about it a long time ago. I did purge that video in an effort to reshoot a lot of my older videos. I pulled a lot of the old ones down, and now I'm going through and reshooting them. So I will reshoot the Modify Sketch video at some point. But let's just talk about what Modify Sketch is. So Modify Sketch is an older tool in SolidWorks. It's a super powerful tool. It's one that stuck around for a long time. Even when SolidWorks moved away from dialog boxes, they just said, we don't really know what to do with Modify Sketch, so let's just leave it alone, leave it as the powerful tool that it is. And the reason that Modify Sketch is so powerful is because of how it works. And what I mean by that is that, let me go back to my 2D printer back here. Like I said, I'm very excited about using my 2D printer here. And you can see here that what I've printed out is a sheet of paper with a red origin on it. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the only time you ever see a red origin in SolidWorks is when you're in sketch mode. If you see the red origin, it means you're in sketch mode. If you don't see the red origin, you know, you might be in sketch mode. It might just be off screen. But if the red origin's not visible, if it's not present, then you're not in sketch mode. But anytime you do see it, you are definitely in sketch mode. The only time this red origin shows up is when you're in sketch mode. Now, when you're in sketch mode, you've got these relationship types that are 2D by nature. And those relationship types are vertical and horizontal. And the vertical relationship will always be represented in the 2D sketch by the longer of those two arrows. So when you're looking at that red sketch origin, the vertical, local, 2D relationship will always be represented by the longer of the red arrows, and horizontal will always be represented by the shorter of the two arrows. But this is not the 3D world, right? The 3D world has positive X, positive Y, positive Z, negative X, negative Y, negative Z. It doesn't have vertical and horizontal. These are relationships that only really exist in the 2D world. And what Modify Sketch recognizes is that when you are in a sketch in SolidWorks, it's kind of like you're on a piece of paper in this 3D world. And what Modify Sketch lets you do is actually pick up and move that whole piece of paper. So for example, you could take an entire sketch and rotate it so that now vertical is going this way, side to side, and horizontal is going this way, up and down. And that would be kind of relative to the rest of the 3D model. And the reason you can do that is because these terms vertical and horizontal are relative to the current sketch. So let me show you an example of what I mean in SolidWorks, and I think this will make more sense, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about what you can do with this Modify Sketch command. But here you can see I've got this model open. I'm doing some surfacing work on this model, and now I'm going to go to one of my planes here, and I'm going to start creating some more sketch geometry. So I'll go to this face here, and I'll start creating some sketch geometry. So select a face, begin a sketch. Actually, you know what? I'll pick this one here because it's on the bottom, and that way vertical and horizontal are really jumbled. So it's telling me that this direction is vertical, but really what I want is I want this to be vertical. So the red origin down here, hold on, I picked a really bad part color for this. Let me just change the part color real quick here. Make this a little easier to see. Okay, here we go. So the red origin here, oh, thank you, Barry. Appreciate it. All right. Yep, totally missed that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, still on camera. Thank you. Appreciate it, Barry. Appreciate it, Omri. You guys are the best chat ever. This is why you guys are the best chat ever. You help me out when I mess up like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's try this again. So here we are. You can see we're looking at this part. And what I want to do is I want to start sketching on this underside of the part. So I pick this face, begin a sketch, orient my view. And to me, this is vertical. Like the longer direction is vertical. And so I create a circle here, and then I create another circle over here, like so. And now I'm going to take this point and this point, and I'm going to make them vertical. Oh, and I didn't get what I wanted from that sketch relationship. And the reason I didn't get what I wanted from that sketch relationship is because I wasn't paying attention to what's going on down here in the red sketch origin. This line here is longer. That means that's the vertical direction. This line here is shorter. That means that's the horizontal direction. But it's not intuitive for me. What I really want is I want this to be vertical. Well, this happens sometimes, you know, in sketch mode, and sometimes it's more intuitive. Sometimes there's more practical reasons why you want to change the orientation of the sketch origin. But regardless of the reason, what we're able to do is we're able to use the command tools, sketch tools, modify. And when we use tools, sketch tools, modify, we get this icon here. And this is the movable sketch origin, and you can left click on that icon and drag it around. So I'm going to drag it right down here to the main origin. And then you can right mouse button and drag, and it rotates the entire sketch, including the red sketch origin. So when I'm doing a right mouse button and drag here, I'm actually rotating the red sketch origin to facilitate what it is that I want from this sketch. So to use that sheet of paper example again, what I'm doing there is I'm taking the entire sketch, including the red sketch origin. I'm taking the entire sketch and I'm just going like this and rotating the whole thing 90 degrees so that now vertical is this way and horizontal is this way. It's up and down. And that's something that, you know, it's a little bit nuanced, but there are times when it comes up where it's really useful to know that that's how it works, because now whenever I go into this sketch, I can pick this point, hold control, pick this point, let go of control, and I can make those vertical. And it's the more intuitive relationship of vertical. It's more what I expected from this model. So that's one thing that you can do with tools, sketch tools, modify. Victor's in the chat. What's up, Victor? Just stopping in to say hi between meetings. All right, awesome. Cool. Well, good to see you in here, Victor. So another thing that you can do with tools, sketch tools, modify that's pretty cool is you can move the entire sketch all at once. Now, we've talked about this in other episodes of TooTallToby, some different tools that we have to move the entire sketch all at once. But certainly tools, sketch tools, modify is a good one. Let's say we created a sketch like this and it looked exactly the way that we want it. And then we window select that sketch, we do a Control C, and now we're going to go into a new part, and we're going to drop that sketch into the new part. So we say top plane, begin a sketch, orient the view, Control V, and now we want to relocate that entire thing because we want it to be on the origin. Well, there's a few different ways that we could do that, but one way that we could do it is tools, sketch tools, modify. And when we do tools, sketch tools, modify, we can take this movable sketch origin, put it down here on this point, and then we could drag and drop and drag that down onto the main origin. So when you do tools, sketch tools, modify, the whole sketch will move together and will not start like flying apart the way it might do if you use some of the other move commands that are in sketch mode. And the reason that it all moves together is because you're actually sliding the, you know, what is essentially the 0, 0 of the sketch, the red sketch origin, this origin here. You're actually sliding that whole origin when you do this. Same thing with when you rotate. You're actually rotating that origin. So that's another thing that you can do with tools, sketch tools, modify. You also might find yourself in a spot where the whole sketch is oriented the wrong way. Again, particularly when you copy and you paste to reuse a sketch on a different design. Well, tools, sketch tools, modify lets you flip that whole sketch across the center line. So across the center line this way, or across the center line this way. It's perpendicular to your movable origin. I'm doing that with a right click. So Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify also lets you quickly take the whole sketch and just flip it. It's like you picked it up and like flipped it over this way. You're essentially like you're mirroring it, but you're not picking up a mirror relationship. You're just flipping the whole sketch over. And finally, and probably the most impressive of all these things that Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify can do is Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify can allow you to resize an entire sketch, including the dimensions, and get the correct scale. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm making the sketch 35 millimeters by 22 millimeters, and then I'm going to say that that hole is supposed to be 15 millimeters, and this hole here is supposed to be 12 millimeters. And so 15, 10, 12 for the millimeters. And then I realize, oh no, I just did that whole sketch in the wrong units. If we look down here, we can see that the units we're working in is IPS, and I made the whole sketch in the wrong units. That's not good. So let's change that to MMGS and then look at our sketch. And oh no, everything is wrong, right? We've all done this from time to time. I know I certainly have done this from time to time. But what's nice is that if you know about Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify, you can go Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify, and then you can say that you want to scale the entire sketch. So here's the scale factor here at 1 over 25 point, is it 25.4? Sure, 25.4, 1 over 25.4. And then you can see here that the sketch resized and the dimensions scaled as well. So when you use Modify Sketch, you can actually scale your sketches, but you can also scale the dimensions. Now, this wouldn't happen if I had been using a tool like Scale here. Like if I did Scale Entities and I window select all these entities and then I say scale that about this point and scale it to a size of, let's just say 2 to 1, just so you can see it. See, what happens here is that the only geometry that actually scales is geometry that's underdefined, but all the geometry that has dimensions doesn't scale. Well, again, using Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify, you can do that. So if the customer comes back and says, hey, can you make me a version of that that's, you know, twice as big? I mean, you could use the scale command at the feature level, but that's like that might give you a different result than what you're actually hoping for. If they just wanted a different version of this thing that was twice as big, you might be able to go into each sketch and scale up each sketch and then actually get the dimensions to double. So this dimension that was 10 just doubled to 20. This dimension that was 15 just doubled to 30. So Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify is a hugely valuable tool, super, super powerful in SolidWorks. Now, the caveat to this is that you cannot have any relationships to anything that's outside of the sketch. So for example, if I took this point here in the corner of the sketch and I dragged it onto the origin, well, now I've got a relationship to something that is outside of the sketch. And so now when I go into Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify, I get a much less capable tool here. So you can see here that the only tool that's now available is Rotate. The Move and Scale, all this stuff is no longer available. The only thing that's available is Rotate. Translate, Scale, no longer available. The only thing that's available here is Rotate. And that's because I've got a relationship to something external. In this case, I've got a relationship to the origin. So what I will typically do in that scenario is I will go to Display Delete Relations, this icon up top here. Display Delete Relations. And then over here, I'll filter this to say only show me relations that are external. So it only shows me things that are external to the sketch. And then I'll do a delete all or a delete. And then once we do that, we can go into Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify. And you can see here that now we can once again use all of the functionality of the Modify Sketch command. So that's the idea of Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify. It's very, very underutilized because it's kind of like an older tool in SolidWorks. But it's something that can really, really help you when you're working with, you know, generally speaking, working with models, but especially I find when you are copying and pasting, that's when this whole idea of rotating the geometry really comes in handy. Because if the geometry isn't just blank geometry, but if it is a situation where you've got, you know, a couple of holes and you copy them from one model and then you paste them into another model, but when you paste them in, they come in like this. Well, being able to quickly and easily just rotate the entire sketch and everything that's in the sketch is super, super powerful and can save you a lot of time. So anytime you're doing Control-C, Control-V from, you know, another model into a new model, that's where you really want to, you know, start brushing up on your Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify skills, because you can really save yourself a lot of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little pro move there. If you did, be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, share this video with other people. Tools, Sketch Tools, Modify, it lets you pick up the whole sketch, move it around, lets you scale the sketch with the dimensions. It's kind of like a super power tool. It really needs its own power move. Niloy, what's up? Welcome, love from Bangladesh. Thank you very much. Love reciprocated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciate it. It's all good. It's all good. Alrighty, let's take a look at the answer for question number 2. How would we go about modeling this one, huh? I think for me, I would probably take this shape first. This shape just for some reason just kind of like jumps out at me. So I'd probably create this shape. I might create it all the way over to here and then extrude it so it'd be flat. And then I would go to the top plane and full round that thing off. Full round that off. Then create a boss extrude here for that upper circle region. Then I'd probably go back down to the front plane and create the rib, because now I've got that upper region. So now I'm ready to come down here and create the rib. That's probably how I would do it. I don't know. There's probably a lot of different ways to do that one, but that's probably how I would do it. I think that's probably how I would do it. Don't forget you can customize the ribbon and Abby. Yep, great point, Omri. Very, very good suggestion. Awesome. All right, let's take a look here. Who got this one first? Roll back up. I know I was yapping away there for a while about Modify Sketch because I love it. Airwick coming in 4823. Nicely done. Tim Z coming in 4823. Juiced 4763. We got Senberger coming in 4763. Nicely done. Juiced revising 4841. Interesting. Revising again 4823. And those are the ones who were able to get in there. Let's see who got it correct first. The correct answer is 4823 plus or minus 2 grams. So congratulations to Airwick. Very nicely done, Airwick. Let's all give Airwick a GG in the chat. Very, very nicely done. Really nicely done to everybody. Everybody who's involved in this one. This is a complicated model. It was from one of the later rounds of the tournament last year. It is not easy geometry. And anybody who took a shot at this one, nice job. If you're watching the recording, you took a shot at it, nice job. And Sebinger, welcome. Welcome to the party. Thanks for joining us. Great seeing you in here today. GG Airwick, GG Airwick. Well done, well done. Well done to everybody. And GG to Tim Z for getting the correct answer on the first one. First place in the first one as well. And I think that's pretty much going to wind us down. Congratulations to our winners today, Tim Z. Congratulations to Airwick. Congratulations to everybody who hung out and participated today. Hope you guys learned some good tips and tricks. Don't forget to check out SolidBox. Professional, no IT required computer solutions. You get the computer, you turn it on, and you start running SolidWorks or whatever CAD system you're using. Boom, no problem. MySolidBox.com. Don't forget, if you're interested in learning a new CAD system beyond what you currently are learning, I'm doing a video series, SW Expert Learns Onshape. I'm totally using the free version so far. Eventually, I'm going to get into the paid version. So with the paid version, I'll get into things like the more advanced workflows for data management, and I'll get into rendering and FEA and things like that. But everything I've done so far is totally using the free version. It took me 5 minutes to go from having nothing to having an account and being in the software creating 3D CAD. So if you're ever interested in learning a new CAD package, that's a great way to start because it's totally free and it's totally on the browser, and you don't need any you don't need anything really. You just need an email. So check that out. Big news, the tournament's coming up 11/11/2023. We're going to get started July 8th with the first matchups. We're going to do qualifiers next month, so be sure to stay tuned for the qualifier information. It'll be very similar to what we did with the leaderboard this month. Of course, huge thank you to our friends at 3D Connection for putting up the 3D Connection Space Mouse kit this month for our prize. Awesome, awesome prize from the awesome team at 3D Connection. I want to learn a free CAD when I don't have access to a SolidWorks software. When I don't have access. Yep. You could definitely try that one, Niloy. You could try the Onshape if you want to try the free one. And what do we think next week, guys? Model Monday Live, 2 p.m. Who knows? I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. I'm real focused on getting everything ready for the tournament. But I love hanging out with you guys each week like this. It's always a good time, and I don't want to forego it, unless there's a really good reason. So let's plan on doing it next week at 2 p.m. We'll see how it goes. But let's plan on doing it. And if we can, I think it'll be awesome. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. This was a great session. Thank you for joining me at 2 o'clock today. We'll try and do it again next week. Good game to everybody who played today. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up on the contact page. If I don't see your messages on YouTube, I'll definitely check them from the contact page as well. Congratulations and good luck to everybody who's doing the leaderboard. Remember, you don't have to have the fastest time to qualify for this. You just need to have a verified video. Everybody with a verified video is going to be entered into the drawing. So huge thank you again to our friends at 3D Connection. And thank you to all of you, the most amazing chat ever. Thanks, Airwick. You get the final word. See y'all later.